Testing 1, 2.
Frequency is in use.
Frequency is in use. No, it isn't. Go ahead and test if you want to.
Frequency is in use. Getting ready for the Qso-Vlog net in about 60 seconds.
Frequency is not in use. This is K2XT.
Frequency is in use. The KC9VKV Qso-Vlog net will be going in about 30 seconds.
Not in use. I've been sitting here listening for the last 15 minutes. Station that wants to test, go ahead and test. There's nobody using the frequency.
Sir, if you've been listening, I have announced about 5 times the net will be starting at 3:30 on this frequency. You must not have heard that.
Frequency. You must not have heard that. It's not 3:30. It's not 3:30. The station that wants to test, go ahead and test. There's no net on the frequency. There's someone squatting on the frequency, trying to guard it until his net starts. But until then, you can go ahead and use the frequency. He doesn't own the band. This is K2XT.
And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our Qso-Vlog network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the best sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the Qso-Vlog network with the phrase, if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. And today we're currently featuring over 2,800 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. And you can access these recordings by going to YouTube and doing a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. And we also have a newer series called KC9VKV Highlights. That's Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. These are some of our less technical and more human nature philosophical kinds of QSOs. Our mission statement for the Qso-Vlog network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. Also today, on the transmit side, we'll be running our no SWR specially oriented resonant tuned dipole antenna, One leg of this resonant tuned dipole antenna runs broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg runs broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today, we'll be running our input source indicator. So when we switch from an internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube Qso-Vlog video. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio's operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA5 to be understood by all. As we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you'll protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history, with dark clouds all around, we pray that you will reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters, and through your loving guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this part of the band has many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking into our Qso-Vlog net to keep their bandpass to no wider than 100 to 2900. And again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. And now let's check in and see if Charlie K1GZL is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie's QTH is up north in northern New Hampshire, near the Canadian border. Charlie, you got a copy?
Charlie, got a copy?
Yes, Jim, I got in here a little late, but you're doing 10 to 15 over 9 on peaks direct. So, of course, I do not have an SDR. I don't know if you're copying me better on Milford or not, but I'm copying you very, very well, K1GZL.
Roger, Roger. Charlie copying you 30 over on Milford, Roger.
Charlie copying you 30 over on Milford, Roger.
Okay, well, we're running just 400 watts out. Got just a little bit more going, 400 watts, just about a third of the normal output. So, as long as you're copying, that is the main thing. I have a little bit of a fellow on the North Island of New Zealand, preceded by just a dot of last week's fellow over there in Tasmania, running 390 watts. So here it is. Let's see if it comes through. We hope.
Signal. Don't worry about the airplane up. Yeah, I don't think I'd notice too much. I'm running about 380 watts, and I don't reckon there's much difference between our signals at all, Charlie, over.
Oh,
Charlie, I'm down south. I'm near Hobart. I'm 35 kilometres northwest of the city of Hobart, a little town called New Norfolk. New like brand new, Norfolk like Norfolk, Virginia, over. That amp, mate. Make sure they're all nice and tight. And your patch reads as well. They do get a bit loose sometimes. It might be just causing itself to self-fail. You want to take care of that just in case. So I check all those connectors, Charlie. Best wishes 73 from the island of Tassie. I'm out of here. I'm going QRT. I'm going to jump in the car and head off. Catch you later, Charlie. Thank you, mate. Bye-bye.
here we go.
Thanks for calling in. 59 into the North Island here. Name is Holger. Hotel Oscar Lima Golf Echo Radio. Yourself?
New Zealand.
Charlie, pleasure to work you. Thanks for calling in here. Yeah, North Island is correct. We are on the lower east coast of the North Island. So looking pretty much over the ocean to North America. Line of sight almost, if you wish. So there's nothing in between us and the States, but water from here, Charlie. Thanks for calling in. hope to catch you or see you further down the log again. K1 Golf Zulu Lima 3, India Oscar. Sure.
Okay, and that was NL3IO Holger on the North Island of New Zealand. That's the end. I hope you copied that okay, Jim. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. Now, what was his name?
Roger, Charlie. Now, what was his name?
Holger, Holgar or GER. Go ahead.
Roger. Well, gosh, unusual name, but a good signal, Roger.
Good signal, Roger.
Oh, yeah. I think I've heard him speaking German, somebody in German, in the past. So I think he might be from Germany originally. Okay, real fine, and you sound as clear as a bell. Very good signal. And Craig, if you're listening, I'll call you lower. So we'll say 73 to you there, Jim. And eventually we hope to get somebody to help me with the transmitter here so we can get the normal output instead of about 1/3 right at the present time. So 73. I have to test for modulation purposes. KC9VKV, K1GZL. Always a pleasure. Always.
Roger, Charlie. Well, I think you hit 100% there for sure. 73 up that way. And hopefully, all things being equal, and the creeks don't rise, we'll join each other next Friday. Love to have you. This is KC9VKV. Just a reminder, my name is Jim, and I'm better known in some circles as Dr. VKV. And we're recording now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We'll post this recording up on YouTube in the next couple of days. So when you go to YouTube, just do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, and that will take you to our YouTube Qso-Vlog page, where we're currently featuring over 2,800 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. This recording will be cut number 1 in that series. So without further ado, let's open it up and see who's out there. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog Network. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
KKT, good afternoon.
I hear a KKT, sir. Just barely do have a copy on you on the PASDR. If you could, sir, come back and give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system. Let me look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Yeah, okay.
The antenna system here is a little bit complicated. Diagonal, we disposed inverted V's, and sometimes that's helpful. Anyway, name here is Dick, Delta India Charlie Kilo, and I'm in Kentucky, if that helps you with your remote receivers there. In any event, running an Anon 7000 here, and I don't know that I've ever tweaked the transmit up properly or not, and have no CFC on. Don't want to use that as of yet, but the microphone is a Yaesu MD100. Which is a desk mic, except that I've taken it out of the desk stand and have it in a boom. I do tend to close talk, that way I don't have to maintain some kind of distance that I can't really quite perceive. Back to you, KA5KKT.
Roger, copy the call as KA5, and what was? Give me your call one more time, slowly, phonetically.
Certainly. Kilo Alpha 5 Kilo Kilo Tango, KA5KKT. On the next time around, I'll give you a switch of the inverted V's and see if that helps you copy any. Go ahead.
Roger, Dick. While I'm copying you, I went to my local antenna, and voila, you're there. I'm over just down the street from Louisville, Kentucky. I should say across the river over in Indiana from Louisville, Kentucky, and I'm copying you. You're about 12 dB above my local noise level, so there you go. Very, very, very good signal. Your technical signal curve, audio curve, is very broad. I'm looking at a spectrum analyzer. I'm seeing activity from the uppermost down to, past 100 cycles, down around 50. So, that's good to, if you like the heavy bottom end, but the thing is, we may be needing to crank in a little more top end to balance out that heavier bottom end. Roger?
Well, I understand what you're saying. What is the top end appearing to be at this point?
Well, I tell you, my spectrum analyzer goes, there's two white marks on the upper side, right side. And the first one is 1 KC, then there's a blank dark space, which is 2 KC, and the next one is 4 KC. So I'm looking at it there. What radio are you running, sir?
Annan 7000, Annan 7000, DLE Mark II.
They don't make that anymore, do they?
Excuse me, I had a button mashing problem over here. Please repeat.
Roger, they don't make that radio anymore, do they?
I don't think so.
Yes, sir. So let's run through a couple of things if you would like. First thing is to be sure we're in that wide transmit bandwidth. TBW should be in the 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth, and that should be in settings, Roger?
Yeah, in settings, I show that on the front panel display. Let me get to the right place in the settings.
Roger. Now, obviously that radio probably is capable of a higher frequency than 2900, but the problem is, if you do work those higher transmit bandwidths, you spill over into other people's areas, and they come knocking for you with pitchforks, and that's not a good plan either. So we suggest 100 to 2900, Roger?
Yeah, I've got that, and I did go to the transmit page in the settings here, and that is what I'm set at, 29 and 100. I do have some gain, and gain maximum minimum, and 20 dB of mic boost at this time. So that's the parameters.
Roger, Dick. Well, then carrying on with our setup, we go to our processor, and we want about 3 clicks there up. Number 3 on the compressor processor, just barely in there, but 3 on your compressor processor. Roger, on and at a 3.
Yes, that's I've got the mic set at 3 dB and the compression set at 3 dB.
Alrighty, now let's go to your ALC, and with mic gain in hand, as you say the magic word audio, you become a human test generator, and we want to adjust that ALC meter for 7 or 2/3, whichever comes first there, and you adjust your mic gain as you say the word audio to get there. Roger?
Audio, and I'm showing about 60% on the ALC, if I'm understanding the metering on this correctly.
Roger. Well, we want to be to the right of center on the ALC meter. Roger?
Okay, so raise the mic gain level?
Yes, sir. Take it on up to where you're to the right of center on your ALC.
Okay, again, I'm not, I'm probably seeing the wrong thing here. I've never quite gotten a good handle on the metering on this particular rig.
I think you've got it. I'm looking at your audio, monitoring 7300 output. I'm looking at your audio, and it is 3 dB dynamic range, which is exactly where you want to be. So let's now go to your equalization tone control page, Roger.
Okay, just a moment. Okay, I've got that up. My equalizer, well, wait a minute. That's okay. I have to get my bearings here. Yeah, it's all set flat at 0 at this point.
Roger. What kind of equalizer is that, Dick?
Well, that's the equalizer built into the software. It's a 10 band or so.
Yeah, it's a third octave equalizer, about 8 bands.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, sounds really good. Now, is that parametric? Can you shift the frequency of those?
I can.
All right, so what we want to do is, for the moment, we want to be sure that everything between 400 cycles and 1.5 is flat. Everything from 400 cycles to 1.5 is flat, Roger?
Yes, they're flat at this time.
All right, so then we want to go, let's see, I guess where 4K would be if it were a third octave equalizer. Let's see, so it's be 1KC, 2KC, 4KC. So the 4KC, we want that at 2.7 kilohertz. Roger?
I'm not sure I'm understanding what you're saying there. 4KC at 2.7 kilohertz. I'm not looking at a pan display here. I'm looking at the 10-band equalizer, and you might need to give me another pointer there.
Yes, sir. Well, let me see here. You have? Do you have any that say they're fixed and the frequencies that they theoretically are, or they are just all unmarked?
They are all marked: 32, 63, 125, 250, 500, 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, 8,000, and 16,000. They are all set flat at the moment.
Okay, so that 2,000, is that frequency variable? Can you shift that frequency?
Yes, I believe I can.
All right, so we want that frequency to be 2.7K. 2.7K plus about 4. 4. 2.7K, 4 clicks push.
Okay, I have it set at 2,700 down.
All right, now can you also vary the width of that equalizer point?
I don't think so. Maybe by going into CFC, but I'm not quite up to speed on all that yet.
Yeah, so it would be on that equalizer. It would be the same place where you push or cut. There would be other adjustments for the width of it. In other words, it would be ballistically shaping the push. So it's whether it's a narrow push or a broader push. Roger.
Well, I'm not sure I'm following, but are you asking me to either insert or take out, perhaps, the dB level of that range?
No, it's not the level. The level's fine. I was just looking to shape the curve at which it's EQing and broaden it just a little bit. But it's no big thing. It's just a small thing, but it doesn't really make a major amount of difference. It's just a little smoother if it was a little broader, as opposed to a peak push on your 2.7K boost, Roger.
Yeah, broader at 2.7K. I think I can do that, but then I have to go into a system that's just beginning to get up to that pay grade.
Roger. Well, it's close enough. Let's go down to the bottom frequency now. You have, what's the bottommost frequency that you have?
It's currently set at 32.
All right, go ahead and take that 32 minus all the way out. Just take that 32 all the way out, Roger.
Okay, I put minus 12 dB into the 32.
Yes, sir. Now, if you would, why don't you give me a little audio, since you're sounding so good. Tell me the best thing you like about your radio.
Well, there's a lot to like about the interesting radios and quite configurable. I'm ready to tell you about my antenna. I have a pair of inverted V's orthogonal to each other, and that lets me take advantage of polarization at times, inverted V's being tend towards the vertical polarization off the ends and off the broadsides horizontal. And depending on the situations, propagation, one thing or another, sometimes it can make a significant difference on either end. Over.
Yes, sir. So you're saying one's east and west, one's north and south, yin and yang kind of thing, Roger?
That's correct.
Yes, sir. And sometimes you see up to 15, 20 dB difference from signals?
I had somebody tell me, at least on one occasion, I think 2 S units or more.
Yes, sir. That would be 6 dB. I bet you could probably get more than that, just depending on how absolute they are on target on the one antenna and off the beam on the other antenna, Roger.
Yeah. You may well be right. I don't know quite how to fine tune that without introducing something else into the system. But again, if you were 45 degrees one way or the other from me, that could make a difference.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm looking at your audio signal now, and it looks very nice. I'm copying the mail on you on a 7300 in its most flat position, and very light front end, so light a front end that I really can't use my S meter because I'm so light in the front end to just avoid any kind of suck up between the words. We want to capture the signal as best we can, and like I said, we do have a VU meter tied to the output so we can look and see what happens when you cease speaking. Then we're looking at noise, and it's well down around 12 dB below your voice peaks, Roger.
Okay, very good. Well, I appreciate your help there. I've listened to you quite a few times, and we're not that far apart, 80 miles airline or less probably. But anyway, I appreciate it. And remind me the name on that end.
Roger. Name here is Jim, Juliet, India, Mike. And again, I'm just looking at there's a spectrum analyzer on my set, and I was looking at your audio, and you still have content down to 25 cycles, but it's rolling out, so it's not getting muddy. And that's what we wanted to do, to give you a little more top end and roll out some of that bottom end. Still have a nice bottom end there, but it's just not, booming, Roger. The reason for that is that Mother Nature has a tendency sometimes to remove the top end of your audio. It's called phase and cancellation, caused by Mother Nature bending part of the signal back at one point and another part of the signal back at another point, and when they come together they may be slightly out of phase. And the first thing to cancel out is the top end. And so if you're real heavy in the bottom end and your top end gets canceled, you become Mr. Mumbles, Roger?
Yes, and I believe I fully understand what you're talking about there. Sometimes I'll watch signals, and more often in the evening hours, often early evening, and I'll be looking at a band, a signal, fairly well zoomed in, and I'll see kind of zebra stripes float through it in the, which I believe are sort of representative of dropouts in various segments of the audio spectrum, probably due to just what you're mentioning there.
Yes, sir. It kind of sounds like kind of like that. That's phasing, Roger.
Yeah, okay. I don't hear it as much as I see it on the pan display.
Roger. Well, it's a lot slower than that. Usually, it's like very slow fading, but a lot of times it'll just reach that maximum fade cancellation point and just hang there forever. And there goes the neighborhood because you've just lost all your top end, Roger, for a long period of time.
Yeah, okay. Well, I understand that, and appreciate your help here, Jim. There's a whole other set of controls called under the title of CFC, and I can't think of what exactly that. That has to do with, I believe, the broadness of what you were mentioning there. When we were talking about the 2700 setting, you wondered if I could broaden that out, and I think probably I can. And by the way, I didn't mention this specifically, but when we were back on the mic gain, I went from 3 dB up to 5 dB. And you seem to notice that difference. Just a small couple of tweaks we did there.
Yes, sir, and I think we did a kind of a major tweak on that bottom end EQ and a nice push at 2700 on the top treble EQ, and that is a very nice place I found to EQ the top end 2700. A lot of folks, unfortunately, are married to a third octave equalizer, which goes 2 kC, 4 kC, 8 kC, and they just skip over that 2.7. That is I found the best frequency to push your minus, Roger.
Yeah, okay, very good. One other thing while we're at it here, that went through my mind, and I'm not sure I latched onto it. Oh yeah, there's so many of the signals you see, in typically unadjusted signals, is I guess around 1,000 or so hertz, a valley in the signal there. Which is, I think, just the natural part of the voice or something. I have seen people that were able to take that out. Is that a good thing or a bad thing to mess around? I'm guessing around 1,000 hertz there.
Well, what we're trying to do is get a basically flat signal as best we can, and that's why we pay particular attention. In the beginning of our setup, I mentioned the fact that we should be flat from 400 cycles to 1.5K, and that is that you want that mid-range flat. Even a bad microphone usually has a good mid-range, and the whole idea behind an equalizer is to strike a balance between the top end in the mid-range and the bottom end in the mid-range. And if you screw with the mid-range, then it's so much harder for the top and bottom to catch up, if you push that. And so much so that manufacturers like the 7300, the 7610, they don't even bother putting in a mid-range EQ control. They just have a two-position treble and bass control for equalization because they want that mid-range to stay flat. Roger?
Yeah, I understand that fully. Well, right now I'm looking at the 1,000 hertz, and I'm gonna tweak it up. Let's see, I'm gonna go up. 6 dB here at 1,000, and what did that do?
Well, you kind of got a bite in the mid-range. Kind of a little raspy bite in the mid-range. If nothing major at that much push, and if you like that sound, you should, probably run that sound. Like I say, our general setup is that we try to keep that mid-range flat, and then do a balance between the top and the bottom. Roger?
Yeah, got you on that. Well, flat on the equalizer does not necessarily equal flat on what comes out of the radio, at least as observed on the pan display and whatnot. So that was what I was kind of getting at by trying that. There's so many signals, and mine included, I think. There's looks like a valley. I'm guessing around 1,000 hertz or so. So that was what I was going to. There's probably some folks on the side here that would like to get in here and speak with you, Jim.
Roger. Well, we'll press on there. Dick, I appreciate you dropping by, sir, and we'll have this recording up to YouTube by noon tomorrow. If you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that'll take you to our YouTube Qso-Vlog site. This will be cut number 1 in a series of 2,800 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. And again, like I said, we'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Okay, very good. Appreciate it. And I believe you're really performing a good service for the community. Not only those that speak to you directly, but all the people that can be affected by messy transmit segments and whatnot. Thank you very much, sir. I had good holidays, but then I thought about the next holiday coming up is not quite a joyous one, but I hope it's good anyway. Thanks, Jim. KC9VKV, K5KKT.
Roger, Dick, 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. If you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Give me a shout.
November 3, Hotel Golf X-Ray.
There's a November 3 station, I believe. November 3 station, come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
November 3 station, come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
This is John, November 3, Hotel Golf X-Ray. November 3, Hotel Golf X-Ray. Radio is an Icon 7300.
Hotel Golf X-Ray, Roger. What was the name again?
Hotel Golf X-Ray, Roger. What was the name again?
Name is
Juliet, Oscar, Hotel November. John, Juliet, Oscar, Hotel November.
Roger, John, and what's your location, sir?
Roger, John, and what's your location, sir?
I am located in Quakertown, Pennsylvania. It's north of Philadelphia, south of Allentown, Pennsylvania. I'm in Quakertown, Pennsylvania, very near the Quakertown Farmers Market.
Roger, John, and what radio are you running today?
Roger, John, and what radio are you running today?
I'm running the ICOM 7300, and antenna is a 5/8 wave in the tree vertical antenna.
All right, kind of elongate that antenna description to about 10 or 15 seconds, and let me look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Let me look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Roger, yeah, the antenna is it's about 30 tree. The antenna is a vertical antenna. It's wire antenna, and it uses a rebar chair, plastic rebar chair, as the center piece, and it spreads the bottom half of the dipole out a bit. It's a vertical in the tree, about 30 feet, and I'm located in Quakertown, Pennsylvania.
Roger that. I have one of my receivers is a Hocus Pocus receiver, and I've got about 3 SDRs set up on it, per state, and it's running about 20 states. I was looking to find something a little more hotter than we're in, let's see, just see here what might be a little better. Let me go to Pittsburgh. We'll see how we do in Pittsburgh. I'm not sure exactly how far that is from you, but come back and let me listen to you on the Pittsburgh SDR.
From you, but come back and let me listen to you on the Pittsburgh SDR.
Okay, November 3 Hotel Golf X-Ray, 3 Hotel Golf X-Ray, and 3 HDX. The name is John, Juliet, Oscar, Hotel November. The rig is an ICOM 7300, ICOM 7300. Antenna is vertical in the tree, about 30 feet up. You sound very good over here in Quakertown, Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh is on the other side of the state. I'm in the southeastern Pennsylvania, in Quakertown.
Roger. I've got a place called Springbrook, Pennsylvania. I'm not really sure where that is, but let me see if I got a copy on you now on that, and then we'll press on with what we're going to do. Come back and talk to me for just a minute.
Press on.
Audio here. John, located in Quakertown, Pennsylvania. The Quakertown Farmers Market is nearby. It's a farmers market that's been open over 100 years, and it's the Quakertown Farmers Market. I'm a stone's throw from that, or from the center of Quakertown, Pennsylvania. And you're very, very good audio. Sounds very good here. Just curious if my wire in the tree is working. Sounds like I could use a little more humps yet to get out to you, but you sound really good here, so I figured I would give it a try. And my name is John, Juliet, Oscar, Hotel November.
Roger, John. Okay, well, I'm in, middle block. Anyway, I got a copy on you, but I got a lot of QRM. I got some side splatter from somebody that is running a little hot, and got some pretty hot sidebands in there, and they're just tearing us up just a little bit. But if you get a good copy on me, let's press on. First thing, John, if you're familiar with that 7300, we want to make sure we're in that widest transmit bandwidth possible, 100 to 2900. It's in settings, and it should be 100 to 2900, Roger.
And it should be 100 to 2900, Roger.
Roger, 100 to 2900. I'll see. I think I'm set in the mid-range right now. Let me see if I can find that setting here. Okay, I'm in transmit bandwidth narrow. Transmit bandwidth narrow. Right now it says 500 to 2500. You want me to run that down to 100 to 2500, you're saying?
No, 100 to 2900. It's called wide. 100 to 2900, Roger.
It's called wide. 100 to 2900, Roger.
Roger, I'll change that over then. Okay, I'm now at 100 to 2900. I'm at 100 to 2900. I am set on wide.
Excellent, excellent. All right, so the next part of our setup will be going to your compressor, and we want your compressor to be set on 3. Compression set to 3, Roger, Roger.
On 3. Compression set to 3, Roger, Roger.
Roger, copy compression to 3, and I'll move down to compression. Compression is now at 3 right now. Compression at 3.
Alrighty, now let's go to your ALC meter with mic gain in hand. And as you say the magic word audio, adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is showing 2/3. You become a human test tone generator. Say the word audio, just the first part of that. You don't have to worry about the back part, just the first part. Elongate, and then adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is showing 2/3. Roger?
Adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is showing 2/3. Roger?
Roger, I'll adjust the mic gain to 2/3. To 2/3, I'm going to bring the mic gain down to do that, and mic gain is at about 40% and showing 2/3 right now at 40%, 40% mic gain.
John, I'm looking at your audio on my VU meter tied to my output, and I think you might be a little fuller than that. So the thing is, when you say the word audio, you don't stress it. You would just say it like any other word in a normal QSO, and then adjust your mic gain for 2/3 on your ALC meter.
Mic gain for 2/3 on your ALC meter.
Okay, we'll do audio, and this is regular speaking voice here, and I'm at about 2/3 now. I'm at 35% and showing 2/3. Keep words are going higher than that. Is it okay if you're going higher than that?
All right, are you using the supplied hand mic?
Are you using the supplied hand mic?
Yes, I am. On the supplied, I'll call it mobile mic, but it's the hand mic that comes with the radio.
All right, so the best way to run that hand mic is pull it to the corner of your lips and talk across it. Do not talk directly into it. Pull it to the corner of your lips. Actually touch the corner of your lips and talk across it. That will minimize any mouth noise. Roger?
And talk across it. That will minimize any mouth noise. Roger?
Roger. I'll hold it across and down
Just be sure that you're looking at your ALC meter. It's just below your output meter. Roger, Roger.
Below your output meter. Roger, Roger.
Roger, let me adjust it to 2/3 movement. I'm going to go down here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Audio, audio, audio. I'm now at about 28%. And peaks are lower now at 28%. How is that?
Well, now that 28 looks to be about half, so you want to be a little hotter than that. Take your mic gain up to about 30.
A little hotter than that. Take your mic gain up to about 30.
Okay, adjusting mic gain to 30%. And more of a normal white voice. I have to be careful I don't get excited here and talk too loud, but normal voice is about 2/3. When I start my modulation, sometimes it jumps up above that a bit, but how's that sounding at 30%?
Don't worry about what the mic says. It's how it affects your ALC. And I'm looking at your audio out, and you're just now reaching 3 dB, which is where we'd like for you to run. And now, if you would, let's go to your tone control. Tone control page, Roger.
Tone control page, Roger.
Okay, let me get into tone control. I'm moving there now. Let's see here. Settings and tone control. I'm in transmit tone control.
And sideband, Roger.
And sideband, Roger.
Correct. I'm in single sideband, SSD. Now I'm in there. It's offering transmit bass, transmit treble, and I'm set on transmit bandwidth wide. Transmit bass at -2. Transmit bass -2. Transmit treble at +3.
All right. Why don't you bring your bass up to 0? I very seldom do that, but you sound a little thin. So if you bring that bass response up to 0, plus or minus 0, no push, no cut. Roger, Roger.
0, plus or minus 0, no push, no cut. Roger, Roger.
Roger, I now have transmit bass moving from -2 up to 0. I moved from -2. Treble still at +3.
Roger, Roger, John, I'm kind of fading out there a little bit. Your signal is kind of fading out just a little bit. Do you still have a good copy on me?
Your signal is kind of fading out just a little bit. Do you still have a good copy on me?
I have a very good signal on you. Very good audio coming into Quakertown, PA.
Roger, Roger, John, let me check one place on my Hocus Pocus receiver. Maybe I can get a better copy on you. Let me just look here real quick and see what I can do. We go to over to New Jersey, and let me just see if that's any better. In New Jersey, we'll just see. Sometimes strange things happen like that. Let's see what goes on here. All right, John, come back and talk to me just for a second. I'm listening for you in New Jersey.
John, come back and talk to me just for a second.
Good, yeah, right. Travel at +3. Transmit bandwidth is set to wide. This is November 3, Hotel Golf X-Ray. And, well, they predicted very good weather for tomorrow here in southeastern Pennsylvania. Supposed to maybe climb up 75 to 80 degrees. So it should be really good, beautiful weather. A little bit of summer here. come back at Sunday or Monday, then the temperature will drop back down. But for now, the weather's supposed to be very nice. This is November 3, Hotel Golf X-Ray. Name is John, and back to you.
Roger, John. Well, I got a good copy on you then. I went back to my PA SDR, and you looked to be about 7 dB over the local noise level, and I was not getting any sideband chatter, so I got a pretty good recording on you. And I would think get the Gorilla Tape out and taper down. Roger, Roger.
And I would think get the Gorilla Tape out and taper down. Roger, Roger.
No, Roger. I want to thank you for your help this afternoon. It's not often that you get somebody that takes the patience and that has the skill and experience that you have to adjust audio on the air and get it done properly. So it's very much appreciated, and thank you for helping me adjust audio today.
Roger, John, and we'll have this recording up to YouTube by noon tomorrow. So if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,800 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. And again, I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. So have a good day, and if you get a chance, join us next Friday, Roger.
Have a good day, and if you get a chance, join us next Friday, Roger.
Roger, thank you. I'm always working on antennas, so one day maybe I'll get the antenna up higher and more signal couldn't hurt anything. But thank you very much for the time you take, and I'll have to look for that audio and listen and see what I sound like at your receiver at your station. This is November 3, Hotel Golf X-Ray. Have a great weekend, and 73.
Roger, sir. And if you're looking to get a more efficient antenna, may I suggest a resonant-tuned dipole antenna? And keep your old antenna, put an AB switch there, and be able to switch around and see which is hotter. There's nothing better than options for your antenna system. So if you have 2 antennas on a switch, you have doubled your options, Roger.
You have doubled your options, Roger.
Roger, I'll try the resonant dipole, and I'll give that a try. I don't know how soon I'll get that done, but when I get it done, might have to test again. But in any case, I thank you for all the hard work, and you're doing everything. I'm not doing anything but talking on this end. So thank you for your years of experience, and we appreciate everything you do, not only for me, but for all the folks out here on amateur radio who otherwise wouldn't have a great sounding board to adjust with. And thank you again. N3 HTX.
Roger, John. And if you do get build that second resonant dipole antenna, be sure and keep your old antenna and put in a two-way switch. So you can sample where you were against where you are with your resonant tuned dipole antenna. You know, just to be able to switch back and forth, and also, like I say, to give yourself options. So always, if you keep your old and then compare it with the new, that's the only way you can tell that you really have advanced. Because that way you can directly compare the old and the new. 73, John. We'll catch you later, sir. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog Net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Qso-Vlog Net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
W4 Japan, Papa Delta.
Japan, Papa Delta. Now I know the voice. What's the name?
Papa Delta. Now I know the voice. What's the name?
Yeah, Jim, it's been a while. My name is Pete. Pete's the name, and we're down here near Charlotte. And have a new radio service to get a check.
Went back to my local antenna, and you took my head off there. I'm copying you. It looks to be about 15, 20 over, somewhere in there. What radio is it that you have today?
It's a little Yaesu FT710, Jim, over.
Yes, sir. As we stand and as I'm listening to it, it sounds just a little upper mids heavy, like maybe a push of 10 dB at 1 KC, 1.5 KC. Roger?
I'm not sure what you mean. A little too many highs?
Yeah, well, mid-highs, just in the telephone frequency there, 1.5 kilohertz. Usually our treble EQ, we want to go up higher to about 2.7 around through there. This one sounds like it's pushing at about 1 KC, 1.5, and it's kind of mid-rangey. Roger?
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm just, adjusting the 3-band EQ system in it. So the mid-frequency on that 3-band EQ, I can notch that a little bit and bring it down. So maybe that'll reduce some of the mids.
Yes, sir. Normally we suggest just keeping those mids flat, keeping the mid EQ control flat, and then catch up, or what we need to do with equalizer is designed to strike a balance between the top treble EQ and mid-range and the bottom EQ and mid-range. And if you push the mid-range, it's so much harder for the EQ to strike a balance. So normally we say keep the mid-range flat and then adjust the top and bottom for EQ. So much so that the ICOM 7300, 7610 models don't even put a mid-range EQ control in there because they want to keep it flat and just have, strike a balance between the top to the mids and the bottom to the mids. Roger?
Yeah, Roger. Well, I just adjusted the mid-frequency here and took it down a bit. I don't know if you can tell it or not.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, why don't you tell me about your antenna system or so, and let me look at you for a minute.
Yeah, Roger. I'm just using the little microphone that came with it, the little hand mic, which isn't great, waiting for a cable for my MD100. But the radio, the 710, nice little radio. I got it to compare with my 7300, and just getting used to the bells and whistles and the buttons and trying to adjust the EQ so it doesn't sound too bad with the little mic over.
Roger. This is one of the few times I would say that maybe if that mid-range EQ went to about 2 clicks roll, 2 clicks cut on your mid EQ, the top and the bottom's coming along nicely. If we just ditch that a little more in that mid-range and let's see what happens there. About 2 clicks.
All right, I'll drop it down too. Okay, dropped it down a little more there. Whether it makes a difference, who knows? Over.
Yes, sir. Now, you just have a 3-band EQ. Is that a Roger?
Yeah, parametric EQ. You've got the frequency, the level, and the Q.
Oh, you have parametric. Well, run that mid-range up to about 1.5, somewhere in there, and let's see what happens there.
Yeah, because I've got it at 900 right now.
Yeah, try that 1.4, 1.5, and let's see.
Okay, there's 1400 over.
Oh, yeah. That's nice. And that's cut 3 clicks?
Yeah, I went from 900 to 1400.
Yeah, I would run it just like that. It's so much more pleasurable. The other was kind of in your ear, kind of upper mids push that was on the irritating side just a little bit, but now it's a lot cleaner.
Yeah, and now's the bass and the high end, okay?
Yeah, I would take that the actual treble control to 2.7K plus 3, 2.7K plus 3 on your treble control.
Well, I'm actually at 3 right now.
On your treble control?
Yeah, that's the third frequency with the level at 10.
Well, you sound like just beautiful. So let's just call it quits. Yeah, get the Gorilla Tape. It's beautiful. You'll love your recording.
Okay, well, hey, I appreciate it. And I'm running at 2.0 KC bandwidth. This little 710 it doesn't go much higher. I can get it up to it's 100 on the low end, 2900 on the high, and I can change it for 50 KC on the low and 3050 on the top to give you about 3 KC. In other words, I go from 2.8 to 3, but that's about it.
Roger, yeah, we usually suggest 100 to 2900 and give you just a slice of daylight before you wind up in somebody else's yard, Roger.
Yeah, very good. Hey, Jim, appreciate it, and I'll look forward to listening to the recording when you get it posted, I guess, sometime over the weekend. But great to hear you, Jim. Again, the name's Pete. We're near Charlotte, and I'll let you run KC9VKV from W4 Japan, Papa Delta.
Roger. Now, what kind of, just out of curiosity, what kind of a mic jack does that radio take?
It's at RJ45, and that's why I had to order a cable so I can use my MD100 with it, which should be a little bit better than the little hand mic that they supplied.
Roger. Now, that last transmission, your bottom end was just perfect. It tends to wander a little bit. Is that maybe proximity to microphone or something?
Yep, that's exactly right. I brought it up a little bit closer, and of course, getting that proximity effect gets a little more bass in there.
Yes, sir. Well, you've got some good area to do that, so you can just get right up on that mic if you want.
Oh, really? I can get up this high, and I'm not getting sibilance?
No. And what happens is you don't really get sibilance. You get bass buildup the closer you get to a microphone, usually.
Yeah, well, I'm on top of it right now. I hope it isn't overpowering.
Looks good. You might look at your ALC, but, other than that, it's just gangbusters, Roger. And you'll hear it on your recording.
Yeah, okay. Very good. Well, I appreciate your help there, Jim, and look forward to the recording. Have a good day. KC9VKV, W4JPD, 73.
Roger, Pete, 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. Again, to hear the audio, if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That will take you to our Qso-Vlog page. This will be cut number 1 in a series of 2,800 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. 73, sir, good to hear you, and appreciate you joining us. Now, if you can, join us next Friday. I'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog Net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Pete, if you're still in there, can you get down 5?
Yeah, down 5.
Other station, come back and try it again, please, sir.
Other station, come back and try it again, please, sir.
This is KC9VKV, and I'm going to go down to Florida. There's a guy that's been trying to get a hold of me from down in Florida, and he hasn't been able to make it. So we're going to go to Orlando. Come on there. We're going to Orlando, and I'll see if I got a copy on him. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog Net, checking in on the Orlando SDR. Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, Orlando SDR. And nothing heard on the Orlando SDR. Let's come back up to Kentucky and just see that Kentucky has a very nice SDR. It's just beautiful as far as the quality is concerned. This is KC9VKV.
KC9VKV.
Looking at my local antenna around Louisville, Kentucky. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor, Friday afternoon, Qso-Vlog net.
Net.
Kilo Delta 2, Charlie Oscar Echo.
Charlie Oscar Echo station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Phonetically with your call sign.
Kilo Delta 2, Charlie Oscar Echo.
COE, Roger, Roger, and what's the name there?
Roger, Roger, and what's the name there?
Dr. Roger, name is Jeff. Juliet Echo Fox Fox. We're up in western New York, over.
Roger, Roger, Jeff, sounding good down here. I'm using the Kentucky SDR, but I would switch it. I've got, let me tell you what, why don't you give me about 10 seconds, tell me about your antenna system. Let me look around and find the hottest receiver, Roger.
Roger.
Okay, that's going in. And pulse line east-west, linear loaded feet. Here about 25 feet here in western New York, over.
Roger, Roger. My PA SDR is the best by a couple of dB over my my Kentucky SDR. Anyway, if you would be, let's see, what radio are you running today, Jeff?
What radio are you running today, Jeff?
I'm presently using the Kenwood TS430S. And using also with it an static DN50 microphone, over.
Alrighty, if you'd be interested in our setup, it starts with you double-checking to be sure you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth, TBW, 100 to 2900, Roger?
With TBW, 100 to 2900, Roger?
Well, you go ahead and tell me what you can. I can't, there's no adjustment on this thing other than a processor, and I don't have that on right now, so. But like I said, we're using only 100 watts, and it seems to be working. We've had to make some adjustments on the radio of late. It's needed a little bit of TLC given its age, of course. And I think we've got it pretty well squared away. Seems like it's doing like it should, at least what indicators I have here show. I don't know how it sounds down there, but I'm sure you're going to let me know that. Go ahead.
Roger, Jeff. Well, your dynamic range is about 3 dB, which is perfect. That means your average percent of peak modulation is between 80 and 85%, so your audio level control is just perfect. Your EQ curve could use a little more top end. Did you say it doesn't have any kind of equalization?
More top end? Did you say it doesn't have any kind of equalization?
No equalization. It's an static DN50, a dynamic cartridge. I could swap it out for the D104 cartridge. There's no preamp in the microphone itself, only in the radio. You could try that if you like, just to see what the difference is.
You're saying that you have an amplified microphone, like a desk mic, amplified desk mic. Is that a Roger?
Microphone like a desk mic, amplified desk mic. Is that a Roger?
It's a UG8 stand, no amplifier in the mic, over.
Okay, so, and your mic level is around 50, 30, 50, somewhere in there?
And your mic level is around 50, 30, 50, somewhere in there?
Yeah, probably. I'm showing probably about 10 o'clock on the mic gain. That's the only reading I have. And it's showing, what's it showing? About 100 watts on the peaks.
Yes, sir. I would pull back about an inch or two off that mic. I would leave everything the same. I would just pull back off that mic about an inch, Roger.
Everything the same. I would just pull back off that mic about an inch, Roger.
Okay, well, we can do that. That's giving us probably around 50, 75 watts out. How's that?
Yes, sir. It sounds nice. Doesn't sound like a cluttered. Roger, Roger?
Like a cluttered. Roger, Roger?
Roger that. Let me switch the cartridges here and try the D104 cartridge, see how that sounds with us, see what you think.
Yes, sir. It should be interesting.
Yes, sir. It should be interesting.
Okay, now there's the D104 cartridge. I'm sure you're going to find a whole lot more highs on it. And I've left everything else alone, the mic gain and what have you. Everything is all right where it was with the last mic. Go ahead.
All right. Now, with that mic, I would try coming on in right on top of it. I would come on in right on top of that mic. And let me hear you.
I would come on in right on top of that mic. And let me hear you.
All right, we'll get it right up in there, nice and tight. And let me see. Can you give you a little bit more gain on the mic, just to get it up to, so the peaks are up closer to 100 watts, and see what you think of that.
I like that. I like that. Now, are you using any kind of matching amplifier or transformer or anything out of that D104?
Or transformer or anything out of that D104?
Nope, negative. Straight from the cartridge right into the radio.
Roger. Might be just a little too much on the top. I don't know. I like it. Just if you worked it tighter, there's as you come closer to it, you have a bass buildup, which offsets the top end boost. So I guess is that ultimately a hand mic, Roger?
So I guess is that ultimately a hand mic, Roger?
No, negative. It's on a UGH stand. Usually on a traditional chicken choker stand there. Go ahead.
Roger. Well, if it's not uncomfortable to use it tight mic, I would use it like that, Roger.
To use it tight mic, I would use it like that, Roger.
Well, there's one more thing we can try here. Let's try some processing. Okay, the processor's on. Now I expect it's going to be quite a bit hotter. And my indicators are a little bit higher, which looks good. But everything doesn't look too bad. What do you think of that?
Roger, a little too much. I would bring that down to about a 3. Just about a third of the capability of that processor. A 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, Roger? Just a third of it?
3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, Roger? Just a third of it?
There's no adjustment for the processor here. It's either on or it's off. That's it. There's no external adjustments.
All right, count slowly, 1, 2, 3, and let me hear what kind of gain you have coming up between your numbers there.
What kind of gain you have coming up between your numbers there?
1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1.
Sounds beautiful. When it first came in, I thought it might be, too much, but right then it was just perfect. I couldn't hear it really, kicking up between words or whatever at all, Roger.
Kicking up between words or whatever at all, Roger.
Yeah, copy that. The output is not nearly as much as what it was with the other mic, using approximately the same distances, et cetera, et cetera. Everything all being the same. But it's, I've had it since the 70s. I like to bring it out once in a while just to see, but I've never really tested with any real significance, just like what you're doing. Because right now we're peaking probably around 50, maybe 70 watts at the most.
Roger. Well, your ALC meter would be your bivolt. You want to set that ALC meter by using your mic gain control as you say the word audio and speak the word audio just like you would speak any other words in a QSO. Don't stress it, just say it. Adjust your mic level until your ALC meter is running 2/3, Roger.
Mic level until your ALC meter is running 2/3, Roger.
Oh, Roger that. That's about where it's running, right about 2/3 for the most part, on the peaks anyways. But it's within range. There's no question there. It is within the ALC range.
Yeah, I like it like that, but that's when we're recording. We record from the beginning to the end, and then when you come and listen to it, you get to hear the whole thing and figure out exactly what you like and what you don't like. And I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. You go to YouTube, do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, and that'll take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,800 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. Roger.
Series of 2,800 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. Roger.
At QSL. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time and trouble. And maybe we'll stick with this one for a while and see how it pans out. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Sounds really good. I like it. 73, sir. Catch you later. If you get a chance to join us next Friday, we'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog Net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Qso-Vlog Net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Golf Bravo station. Come back slowly with your call sign phonetically.
Come back slowly with your call sign phonetically. Hello, Jim. This is Jim in Missouri. Kilo, Echo Zebra, Delta Golf Bravo.
All right, from Missouri, Kilo Echo, let's see here, Kilo Echo 0. And then something Golf Bravo, Roger?
You're right, Jim. It's Delta, Golf, Golf Bravo.
Roger. Now I got you there. Also on my my other antenna here. I tell you what, why don't you give me about 10 seconds, tell me about your antenna situation, and let me see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
See if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
All right, Jim. I'm running 25-meter blue. Rectangular shape, but blue. About 40 feet high.
Roger, I've got you on my Kentucky SDR. I got you on Kentucky SDR. What was the name?
The SDR. What was the name?
Jim. It's Jim. Juliet India Mike. Same as yours, Jim.
Hey, I'm glad you reminded me. I had forgotten. Thank you very much for reminding me. And you're in Missouri, is that a Roger?
And you're in Missouri, is that a Roger?
That is correct, Jim. That is correct. Southwest Missouri, in the Ozarks.
Roger. Well, gosh, we don't usually go west, but it's such a pleasure. I've spoken to you quite a few times. You know, we eventually find a good place to copy you, and we have this time also. I think I'm using, as I said, my Kentucky SDR. It's about a click or two over my local 7300 antenna system, which I normally, I think, use to copy you, or down in Georgia, I think, sometimes, Roger.
Down in Georgia, I think, sometimes, Roger.
Yeah, usually you can drop him direct on your transmitting antenna, Jim. But yeah, like I said, you were sounding better a while ago. But I think I might have some rain coming in. That may be part of it.
Yes, sir, Jim. Well, I'm constantly transmitting on my tuned dipole antenna. I'm constantly transmitting on my resonant tuned dipole antenna. I'm always on different other antennas and SDR units around the country for receive audio and stuff, but usually my transmitter is consistent only on the tuned dipole antenna. Roger.
Like tuned dipole antenna. Roger.
Roger, Jim. I just want to see what you saw of my equalization on this radio. Let's see if you can hear me well enough or not.
I can hear you pretty good. I think the curve of the audio sounds good. You might check your mic level into your ALC. Go to ALC. As you say the word audio, adjust the mic gain until your ALC meter is running 2/3. The meter is running 2/3.
Audio. How's that, Jim? Is that any better?
I think so. Tell you what, why don't you leave your ALC meter out for a little while, and as you talk, you've got to have something to do, so just leave your ALC meter out so you can see it as you talk, and try to keep that ALC meter in the sweet spot right there at 2/3 by just your voice alone, and that's over a couple of weeks. I think you'll be able to develop a relationship between your ALC meter, and you'll just be able to nail it. Just you might have to adjust your mic gain just a little bit one way or the other, but you'll find a place where you can just keep that ALC meter right at 2/3, Roger. ALC meter right at 2/3, Roger.
All right, Jim. I ended up getting a Flex 6500, a used radio new to me, so I've been messing with that here lately, and I haven't heard you very well, so and it seems like the day's the same way with me to you, but anyway, I just wanted to see what you thought.
Roger. Well, Jim, what radio is that this time?
Flex 6500. Flex 6500, Jim.
Yes, sir, Jim. Well, I'm copying you fairly well, and it's in and out, but when it's in, you're like about 7 dB above my noise level, so it's it's a good signal there, and then Mother Nature kind of pulls it back for a minute, and then you go back up to 7 dB over my noise level, or should I say the Kentucky SDR noise level. That's what I'm monitoring you at or with or whatever, Roger.
You at or with or whatever, Roger. All right, Jim. Well, it doesn't sound like it's doing too bad then. That's what I need to know, and I appreciate it. I haven't talked to you for a while. You making any progress on that ambulance?
I tell you, I have not. I've got the back end of it kind of nice. It's got a big screen TV and a nice little concave area for the big screen to sit in, and then I've got a little area for me to sit in, and like that. But that motor, I just don't know about that motor. It's a heavy thing to have to push by hand.
You got to get that motor figured out. One of these days you'll get it, I'm sure, John. Jim. I can't even remember your name, Jim. Anyway, great talking to you. 73s, and you have a great weekend coming up. KE0DGB. We'll talk to you later, Jim.
Roger, Jim, 73 there, and if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,800 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. So, 73, Jim, good to hear you, bud, and we'll catch you later. If you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog Net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. Station calling, come back and try it again.
Station calling, come back and try it again. A5KKT if there's a wall, Jim.
That was KK. Come back with your call sign slowly, phonetically, Roger.
Come back with your call sign slowly, phonetically, Roger. Kilo Alpha 5 Kilo Tango for recheck if there is a wall at present.
Yes, there is, sir. And Kilo Tom, what is Tango? What is the name?
Tom, what is Tango? What is the name?
Delta India Charlie.
Roger, Dick. All right. And what was the question now?
Roger, Dick. All right. And what was the question now?
Yeah, if you go to your local antenna place, oriented, but I wanted to give you a quick back and forth between my two inverted V's that you might see the difference in those.
All righty. I'm on my local antenna. Roger.
Okay, a dipole, is it horizontal, and which way do the legs run?
Gosh, it's hard to say. It's kind of like a V, not a heavy V, but just slight V, and it's probably running more east and west than north and south. Roger?
Okay, very good. This is my, the legs of this dipole are east and west, and right now I will switch to the inverted V running north-south. Do you see any difference on your end?
No, I'll tell you the best way to do that is you want to catch the same wave when you do that switch. So the simplest thing is do a 10 count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, switch 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Roger?
Okay, this is the north-south. The legs run north and south of the inverted V, and I'll give you a switch here. 1, 2, 3, 4, switch. Oops, 5. I don't know if I even did what I was trying to do there. Anyway, I'd have to do that again. We're probably holding somebody up here, Jim. Go ahead.
No, I'm getting ready to sign off, but I'm interested in your experiment. So, we're talking a sideband here, so you don't really have to back off the key or anything. Just, if you're not speaking, you're not transmitting, so you can make an antenna switch hot without having to deliberately unkey and all that stuff. So just leave your radio keyed, go 1, 2, 3, 4, switch 5, 6, 7, 8, like that. Roger.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, switch 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
All right, I had your volume set for 0 level, and there was no change on your switch. Now, the thing is, why don't you switch as I'm talking and see if you have a receive difference? I bet you don't. Audio, and you can switch back and forth in my audio and see if you can hear a difference in my level. Audio, okay.
Not noticeable, Jim. Nothing noticeable, and so that's okay. At other times, if I find somebody that is directly in line with the ends, and depending on the polarization characteristics of their antenna, sometimes it's a substantial difference, and oftentimes it's nothing. What I do find is more often is on receive between let's see, how do I say this? By using diversity and changing the relationship, I'm talking over my head, Jim, but you do that. Anyway, one of the things I can do is take out a lot of noise by, I've got one of those, it's a phasing control, and on reception, oftentimes I can null out quite a bit of noise, Jim.
Yes, sir. Now I can move my receive point and pull in my Pennsylvania SDR. Why don't we do a test on my Pennsylvania SDR? Again, it's that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 switch 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. And I'll copy the mail on Pennsylvania and see if you make a difference up in PA. On Pennsylvania and see if you make a difference up in PA.
Okay, very good. This is north-south inverted V. 1, 2, 3, 4, switch, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, I didn't notice much. Let's do another one. I've got, let's see, I've got a Georgia PA SDR. Let me come back just for a minute. Let me see if I got a copy on you down in Georgia. Come back just for a minute. Let me see if I got a copy on you down in Georgia. I don't have a very good copy, but let's try our test and see what you think. Go ahead with your test. I'm monitoring down in Georgia. Go ahead with your test. I'm monitoring down in Georgia.
Okay, this is the east-west inverted V. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, are you switching on 4 or 5? Okay, are you switching on 4 or 5?
Well, let's see. I'll leave the number itself out, that will count it as 5 when I say switch equals 5. So now this is the north-south inverted V. 1, 2, 3, 4, switch. I'm goofing up here. I start pushing my mic button instead of my antenna button.
It's so easy to get confused.
It's so easy to get confused there on the side that we're holding up, Jim.
Yeah, Roger. I went back to my Kentucky SDR. Anyway, that was some interesting experiments. It didn't have quite as much shift as I would have thought if those antennas are running 90 degrees to each other, Roger. Antennas are running 90 degrees to each other, Roger.
Yeah, well, factor this in. It's not really factorable, but I keep screwing up and clicking the wrong thing and letting off my mic instead of switching my antenna. Okay, I'll try it one more time. Well, you're on the Kentucky now, so I don't want to be holding people up. I had my nickels worth earlier, Jim.
I can go right back to Georgia, and let's do that test one more time. Switch at 5, or switch between 5 and 6. One more time. Switch at 5, or switch between 5 and 6.
Okay, I'll switch between 5 and 6. It's K5, KKC, north-south, inverted V. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Roger, that last antenna might be a dB hotter. It faded out a little bit, and then it faded back in, and we already faded in before you switched, and after you switched, you looked to be about a dB hotter on your last antenna on the Georgia SDR, Roger? Antenna on the Georgia SDR, Roger?
Yeah. Well, let's see. You know where Lexington is. Do you have a receiver that would fall more or less on the north-south line from Lexington?
Repeat that again now. I'll try to follow you.
Repeat that again now. I'll try to follow you. Okay, Lexington, approximately 75, 80 miles east of you. Do you have one of your SDR receivers that would be on a line a fairly strict line, either east-west or north-south, but on those quadrants from Lexington.
Oh gosh, I'm not really sure because I'm stupid. No, I can't visualize all these SDRs in my Hocus Pocus receiver. They're by state, and I'm not really sure, if it would be directly in line east to west or north and south. I would think maybe Georgia would be somewhat in line as far as north and south, Roger, but not that's quite a bit of distance from Lexington down to Atlanta, Roger.
Down to Atlanta, Roger. Yeah, is that where the receiver is in Atlanta?
Yeah, the Georgia receiver's in Atlanta.
Yeah, the Georgia receiver's in Atlanta. Okay, very good. Well, I'm taking up more than is necessary of your valuable time, and certainly keep up the good service to the community.
Yeah, Roger, Dick. Now, you might consider using one of the SDRs and conducting some of those tests yourself. That's what I do many times. And I use maybe I'll go off 1 KC off the actual frequency that I'm doing that I've got tuned up on an SDR, and of course you would need 2 of them, so I don't know, but anyway. When you're 1 KC off the frequency, when you hit transmit, it creates a 1 KC tone, and then if you have a meter connected to the audio output of your receiver, it'll show that tone as a signal strength, and as a signal strength is greater or lesser will be the amplitude strength of that reading on the meter. Roger.
Of that reading on the meter. Roger. Yeah, Roger. I think I can hot switch this antenna, but we'll not go there right now. But maybe an experiment for another time.
Yes, sir. I would think the thing would be that maybe you might put a vertical in there. If you really wanted to check some difference, you wouldn't use that vertical very often, but sometimes a vertical antenna really makes a big difference if the signal coming in happens to be vertically polarized, Roger.
Signal coming in happens to be vertically polarized, Roger. Yes, and that's the basis of what I'm doing here, but just not with a vertical high. That's okay. But again, these favor vertical polarization off the ends and horizontal off of the flat side. So that's what we're looking at. It's anyway, that's what I'm trying to determine.
Yes, sir. Now, I've been moving around here, and I've got that chevron on the right-hand side that tells me and you where I am listening from. It lists the stuff, and it has a little light that runs up and down and shows you where I'm listening from. And you really do have a nice curve on your audio system. When I went to my local antenna, which is running a 7300 in the non-filtered format, it's as wide as I can get it normally. And as normal, just a beautiful audio signal on the 7300 on my local antenna. Roger?
Yeah, okay. I appreciate you're puzzling over the bearings in there of your various receivers. I have to go through all these gyrations in my head based on my lot is 45 degrees off of north, south, east, west. And it's precisely 45 degrees off. And then the legs are not 45 degrees off. The forelegs, north, south, east, west. And then to further complicate things, in my shack, the way I'm set up here, is I'm 45 degrees off to my house. So anyway, I have to go through these gyrations in my head as well.
Ah, yes, sir. Well, I'm the king of gyrations. I've gyrated so much, I'm bananas. I got to get out of here, Jim. Let me say 73 to you, sir. Roger, roger.
Yeah, Jim, appreciate your efforts today, and again, your overall efforts for the community. 7-3.
Right. Roger, roger. And I'm sure you'll have your recording on YouTube when you get there to see it. 73, sir. And without further ado, we got to get out of here. So if you participated and would like to hear your recording, if you go to YouTube, do that call letter search, KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That will take you to this recording, and this will be cut number 1 in a series of 2800. I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. So 73 all, and we return this frequency back to normal amateur radio use. KC9VKV is clear.